Equatorial Guinea vs Gabon, which country is better? Hello explorers, welcome to another informative video and thanks for watching. In today's video, we shall be comparing two Central African countries, Equatorial Guinea and Gabon, to see which one comes out on top. Both countries are beautiful and spectacular in their own unique ways, but when facing each other, there are certain advantages or strong points they will have over one another. For this comparison, we will use the physical, infrastructural, economic, touristic and security characteristics that set each country aside and hence give it an advantage over the other. Many factors go into deciding which country is a better option, such as the primary aim of the trip and what you intend doing in both countries. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. So without any much delay, here is a head-to-head comparison between these neighboring countries, Equatorial Guinea and Gabon. Demography and geography of both countries. Gabon is a country in Central Africa, bordering the Atlantic Ocean at the equator, between Republic of the Congo and Equatorial Guinea. With a population of about 2.1 million people, spread over its 267,667 square kilometers of land, Gabon has a tropical climate, which is almost hot and humid. Gabon has one of the lowest population densities of any countries in Africa, and the fourth highest Human Development Index in Sub-Saharan Africa. Broadly speaking, Gabon has two main seasons, a long rainy season between February and May, followed by a long dry season from late May to mid-September. On the other hand, Equatorial Guinea is a country located on the west coast of Central Africa, with an area of 28,000 square kilometers, inhabited by just over 1.3 million people. Equatorial Guinea has a tropical climate with distinct wet and dry seasons in between, in which there is gradual transition. Rain or mist occurs daily on Annobón, where a cloudless day has never been registered. The temperature at Malabo, Bioko, ranges from 16 degrees to 33 degrees, though on the southern Moka Plateau, normal high temperatures are only 21 degrees Celsius. In Río Muni, the average temperature is about 27 degrees Celsius. Annual rainfall varied from 1,930 mm at Malabo to 10,920 mm at Ureka, Bioko, but Río Muni is somewhat drier. Gabon is bigger than Equatorial Guinea in terms of both surface area and population, but the climate of Equatorial Guinea is relatively friendly compared to Gabon's. Infrastructure. Economists agree that infrastructure is a crucial component of economic growth, especially in developing countries. Along with increased productivity, improved infrastructure also disproportionately helps the poor. This is achieved through improved access to markets and facilitating human capital accumulation and economies of scale. Put simply, better roads, railways, and ports make transporting goods easier and cheaper. Furthermore, better telecommunication infrastructure like telephone lines and internet access enables more participation in economic activity. The World Economic Forum (WEF) Global Competitiveness Report ranked the quality of overall infrastructure in Gabon 112 out of 148 countries. While roads are the leading mode of transport in Gabon, its poor state has been hampering Gabonese competitiveness and industrial development. The low quality of port infrastructure is not able to effectively meet the needs of external trade. The quality of electricity supply also lags behind. Given this situation, the government has been launching investment in constructing and renovating public infrastructure since 2010, rehabilitating the transport and marketing infrastructure in the rural areas for enhanced access to productive areas, and upgrading the energy and communications infrastructure. With regards to telecommunications service, the Gabonese government has exclusive authority to establish and operate public telecommunications networks. Less than half airport roads are paved and few roads in Gabon are paved too. In Equatorial Guinea, most of its funds are spent on infrastructure. According to the World Bank, Equatorial Guinea spent $80 out of every $100 in its budget on infrastructure and $2 to $3 on health and education. But still, out of the three airports in the country, Malabo International Airport, Bata Airport and the new Annobón Airport, only one, Malabo International Airport, is an international airport. Every airline registered in Equatorial Guinea appears on the list of air carriers prohibited in the European Union, which means that they are banned from operating services of any kind within the EU. The country is trying to improve on its infrastructure by upgrading the port at Luba, the airport at Malabo, and many roads linking major cities. The telecommunications revolution has slowly been introduced with a new digital network, public phone booths, a cellular system, and even some limited internet access. Most of the country's power is generated by a number of oil-fired power plants and a few large dams. Generally speaking, it is clear that infrastructure in Equatorial Guinea is better than that of Gabon, given all the effort and money that goes into the sector. Economy. Equatorial Guinea is one of the largest oil producers in Africa, producing 186,000 barrels of oil per day and ranking 37 out of 98 countries in crude oil production. Equatorial Guinea's economy significantly improved after it struck oil in the middle 1990s, leading to a drastic improvement of its gross domestic product within 8 years. Before independence, Equatorial Guinea exported cocoa, coffee and timber mostly to its colonial ruler, Spain, but also to Germany and the UK. As of 2004, Equatorial Guinea is the third largest oil producer in Sub-Saharan Africa. Its oil production has risen to 360,000 barrels per day, up from 220,000 only 2 years earlier. Forestry, farming and fishing are also major components of GDP. From 2000 to 2010, Equatorial Guinea had the highest average annual increase in GDP, 17%, and it currently stands at $12.432 billion. According to the World Bank, Equatorial Guinea has the highest gross national income per capita of any African country, 83 times larger than the GNI per capita of Burundi, the poorest country. Gabon's economy is dominated by oil, as oil revenues constitute roughly 46% of the government's budget, 43% of the gross domestic product, and 81% of exports. Oil production is currently declining rapidly from its high point of 370,000 barrels per day in 1997. Gabon has a GDP purchasing power parity of $17.212 billion. The main industries in the country include petroleum extraction and refining, manganese, gold, chemicals, ship repair, food and beverages, textiles, lumbering and plywood. Cement in agriculture is based on products such as cocoa, coffee, sugar, palm oil and rubber, cattle and fish. Both Equatorial Guinea and Gabon are oil-producing magnates with great exporting strength in the international market, but the GDP of Gabon is greater than that of Equatorial Guinea, indicating a more booming economy. Tourism. Until recently, tourism in Gabon has been neglected, replaced by the export of raw materials such as oil and wood. In 2000, however, the Gabonese government worked on developing the sector by developing luxury and niche tourism, such as bush expeditions or safari trips. The only thing that stops Gabon from success is corruption. The Guardian Book of Statistics rates Gabon as one of the most corrupt countries in the world. Tourism in Gabon is underdeveloped. Despite this, attractions include beaches, ocean and inland fishing facilities, the falls on the Ogwe River, the Crystal Mountains. Tourists also come to see the famous hospital founded by Dr. Abel Schweitzer in Lambaréné. Gabon's 13 national parks range from regions along its coastline, where hippopotamuses play on untouched beaches, to forest clearings home to naive gorillas. Some of the most visited sites include Libreville National Art Museum, the Luango National Park, the Lope National Park, and the Port Gentil Beach. In 2000, there are about 2,450 hotel rooms booked. Roughly 155,000 tourists arrived that year, and tourism receipts totaled about $7 million. The year before, 120,000 foreigners arrived, with only 1% coming for tourism, and it accounted for between 1 and 3% of the GDP. Because Equatorial Guinea has undergone many years of international isolation, its tourism industry is very undeveloped, with limited hotel space available in Malabo and Bata. Attractions include the Spanish colonial architecture of Malabo, the beaches, and the tropical rainforest. In 2004, the United States Department of State estimated the cost of staying in Equatorial Guinea at $218 per day. The small Central African nation of Equatorial Guinea, by some, accounts the world's sixth least visited country, still setting the stage to become a tourist destination. With beautiful beaches, luxury 5-star hotels, and fascinating parks, it is gradually gaining its ground, even though very slowly. Some of the great destinations in Equatorial Guinea include the Malabo Santa Isabel Cathedral, the Luba Rainforest and Beach, the Arena Blanca Beach, the Freedom Tower, etc. Gabon has earned a lot of money from tourism, which has contributed to its gross domestic product, and the tourism industry in Gabon has gained more grounds than in Equatorial Guinea, who is rising to the occasion. Hence, for the tourism round, we give it up for Gabon. Security. Compared with other countries in the region, the level of violent crime in Equatorial Guinea is low, and there has been very few cases of visitors needing consular assistance. However, there are an increasing number of robberies against people traveling by taxi in both Malabo and Bata. There are regular reports of petty theft affecting both visitors and citizens alike. The political situation of the country has been pretty calm in recent years and made way for better investment by foreigners willing to live or only do business in the country. On the other hand, Gabonese nationals are trouble-free. However, there have been incidents of robbery, armed attacks and rape in the past. To avoid any kind of trouble, you need to avoid situations that places you in harm's way, like being alone out at night, showing off expensive jewelry and gadgets. On 7 January 2019, there was a failed coup attempt by a small group of military officers. Following a few hours of sporadic gunfire in Libreville, the situation was brought back under control. Political stability in Gabon remained uncertain following the result of the 2016 presidential election, with violent clashes occurring between demonstrators and security forces at that time. Both countries are plagued with petty theft and armed robbery, but the case of Gabon is aggravated by the political unrest in the country, which makes Equatorial Guinea a safer country than Gabon. Standard of living. Despite Equatorial Guinea's wealth, which is mostly made from oil, over 70% of its population lives below the national poverty lines. With an impressive gross national income figure of $21,442, Equatorial Guinea is plagued by extreme poverty because its Gini coefficient of 65.0 is the highest in the entire world, indicating high unequal income distribution. Equatorial Guinea has a purchasing power parity per capita of $9,141 as of 2019. Gabon has purchasing power parity per capita of $8,384, implying that Equatorial Guinea has a higher standard of living than Gabon in a general sense. Conclusion. Looking with just the naked eyes, one can feel that both countries are similar, but a closer view shows a lot of disparities in both physical and economic characteristics. Gabon is a bigger country both in size and population, but Equatorial Guinea has an impressive climate, infrastructures, standard of living and security, which makes it friendly to investors and tourists. Gabon, on the other hand, has a better economy and a booming tourism industry, the choice of which is better is left to the individual depending on the purpose of the visit. Thanks for watching this video, explorers. Which countries will you like us to compare next? Kindly leave your suggestions in the comment section and we will be sure to grant your request. Also, if you did enjoy this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and be sure to share with your friends.